بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في أراضين. Dear sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum. It's an honor to be among you in this special day, and inshallah in this short talk I want to speak about what does holy mean when we say the holy month of Ramadan. So the topic is trying to have a better understanding of what the word holy means. But before that, as you know, today also coincides with the death anniversary of Lady Khadija, and I offer my condolences to everyone. It's a very sad occasion for the Prophet, and inshallah towards the end of the lecture we'll also talk about that. Please recite the salawat. I thought, because it's also the death of Lady Khadija, the death anniversary, it's perhaps a good idea to start speaking from death, from this concept. We'll start and then we'll continue our discussion, because death is something that we have all, in one way or the other, experienced a kind of relation to it. It could be death of a loved one. It could be the fear we have of our own death. So in one way or the other, death has entered our lives and has made its presence clear. For many of us, death reminds us of the empty houses of our grandparents who are no longer with us. For some of us, death could mean the discontinued hope in the future of a child who's no longer with us. For some, death brings to mind the phone calls from the mother who would always call you before anything important in your life, but now she's no longer there. We have all experienced death in some way, and for us it's very intimate. And just today we were going through the list of the families who had marhumin, and there's no family who doesn't have someone, a loved one, who's passed away. It's a very intimate friend for everyone, this death. But it's also a great teacher. Death teaches us many things, but there's one particular thing that I want to speak about, that death teaches us. And that is the significance of people in our life. Just a few years ago, I was on the plane going from London to Tehran. And on the plane there was a lady, probably in her mid-40s. And constantly throughout the journey, she was speaking to someone. And later I realized that she was speaking to her mother that had just passed away. So her mother lived in Iran and she was in London when that had happened. So she wasn't with her mother when she passed away. And throughout the journey, she was constantly talking to her. She was saying, and it was very difficult to see, right? It was very difficult because you could clearly see the pain she was going through. The sentences as well, it was like, "Mom, I'll do anything. I'll light up the whole city. Just promise me when my car turns into the street, you'll be at the door of your house waiting for me, like you always did." Right? Many mothers, even if it's difficult for them to walk, they would usually go to the door and waiting if the kid was coming from a different country. So she was saying, "Mom, I'll do anything." right? I don't care. I'll do anything. Just promise me one more time. When I look at your house, the door is open and you're there waiting for me. It's truly painful. But unfortunately, sometimes we have to wait for something like that to wake up and to remember that the people in our life are so important. This is why I say death sometimes works like a teacher. Unfortunately, the lesson is delivered a bit late once the person is gone. But it tells us that the people in our life are so significant. You know, if you look at us right now, if someone asks us how is our life, if we want to give an analysis of how is our life going, and especially if we're in a difficult situation in our life, what we would say is, okay, you know what, I have a good family, parents are there, I'm in a good relationship, but you know what, I just got fired from job, or this happened, so life's not that great. As if getting fired from job, or not, or like looking for a job and not finding one, or having a failure at work is equal to having a family. Like, yeah, that's one goodness and this is one badness, so they cancel each other out. But all it takes is to lose a member of our family to realize, damn, who cares about job? Just come back. Right? It tells you that family is not one that can be compared to the one utility, for example, of job or any other thing in our life. There are things and people in our life which are special. Parents, partners, children, and nothing in the world can match what they bring into our life. No matter what we gain, we all know, even if you gain all the important things in your life, if there's no one to share it with, it means nothing. But I feel like slowly, our world is going towards a direction in which we are losing appreciation for the special things in our life. Right? It's not just the special people in our life, but everything. It seems like we're going towards a direction in which things only matter to us according to the function they play in our life, right? So nothing special, everything is equal. I only care about things that play a function in my life, right? But traditionally, it wasn't like that. There were things which were special, which were sacred, which were holy. I'm sure many people here, especially the senior ones, remember the respect in our cultures we used to show for bread. Like if you were walking and you saw a piece of bread on the floor, what would you do? You would take it from the floor. Some people would kiss it, but you would make sure it doesn't stay on the ground, because someone may walk on it or step on it. And that was considered not appropriate. You would show respect. But not because of the function that the bread played in your life. That bread, that piece of bread, had no function in our life. If bread is only for eating, we're not going to eat the one on the ground. But things back then had more meaning than the function they served, right? Things represented something deeper. Like a piece of bread represented the rizq that God gives to you. It was a symbol of God's giving character, of the sustenance that God gives to us. It also represented the effort that men and women put into making that piece of bread. So it was special. But we see that as we're going down, there are less and less special things in our life. Please recite the salawat. Another thing that has lost its place for many people is nature, right? Traditionally, when we looked at nature, we didn't just see nature, we saw more. If you looked at the tree, you didn't just appreciate the beauty or the wonder of the nature that made this possible, but you also went deeper. You appreciate the beauty of God, of the Creator. If you went to climb a mountain and you saw the majesty, the greatness of the mountain, it meant more to you. Nature was more than just natural. You would see the mountain and you would feel that as amazing you are, as confident, smart, sharp, open, creative, assertive, successful, conscientious, kind, as all of that as you are, but you still felt insignificant towards this majestic being. And it would instill within you a sense of awe, a sense of appreciation for something bigger than you. So, in order not to get lost, what I'm trying to say is this: that we used to have respect for things, not just because the function they played for us. We didn't care about a mountain just because it was fun to climb it, or it was a fun thing to take a picture of. Or we didn't care about bread just because we could eat it. We didn't just care about our parents because of the love they offered us, or the support, or the financial support. No, things had a deeper meaning. Parents were special. Parents were in a way holy. A piece of bread was holy, was sacred. Looking at a mountain was special. But as we're going on, it seems like in the modern world, not that there's a plan or anything, but slowly, we're losing appreciation for anything sacred. You must have heard this, right? Nothing is sacred. No book is sacred. What's so special about scriptures? Quran is just like any other book. These are the things that we keep hearing, right? What's so special about Mecca? Why do you have to treat a certain way in that place? What's so special about Ramadan? Isn't it just another month? So you'd see that slowly, the culture of the modern world is going towards losing appreciation for anything sacred, right? If you look at like people's possessions, like a house is no longer meaningful. It's just a place you stay. As soon as you can afford a larger one, you'll move out without any problem. Even a car, right? I remember before even cars meant more. Your car wasn't just a ride that as soon as you could afford the better one, you would change it. It meant something to you. It was different. You always remembered the first car you drove. But now all of that is going. However, even in a culture like this, you would see that there are still things that we consider special, even if we don't say it. Even if we want to feel, even if we want to believe like everything is the same, everything is equal, but still there are things which are different to us. What do I mean? Even for a non-religious person, the restaurant, for example, they went to in their first time with their partner is special, is different. You might even see that on their anniversary, they want to go back to the restaurant that they went on the first night that they went out together. What does that mean? Isn't that just a restaurant? Why do you want to go back to the same one? Because it's special, right? In a way, it's even like performing pilgrimage. When they go there to the same restaurant, they feel something. They have an experience. But why is it so significant? Because more than being just a restaurant, it's a place where a connection was made, where an experience was had, right? And so even for a non-religious person right now, even for a person who say nothing is sacred, everything is the same, there are things that even if they don't say it, but they treat it as holy, as sacred. One of them is, as I said, a place that you went on a first night out with a partner. Or for example, even dates, like the date of the wedding suddenly becomes important. What's, for example, the difference between 4th of August and 5th of August? But no, 4th of August was the date of our wedding. It's special. You see, even for the non-religious person, there are times which become sacred because of something that happened in them, right? So if you don't, for example, believe that the date of your wedding is special, all you need to do is to tell your partner that. And she or he will happily educate you that it's actually very special, very sacred, right? What this means, I think, is that even if the non-religious person denies at the level of thoughts and concepts that there's nothing sacred, but within us there's a deep yearning for something special. We can't tolerate a life in which everything is equal. We can't be happy in a life in which all the days of the month are the same, or all the places are just the same. We can't be happy. So we create things. Yeah, this is the city of my childhood. This is the restaurant we went to together. This card is the card my students made for me. This is, for example, the hat that my grandfather gave to me. And so we try to make special things in our life because we need that. And also special dates. This is the date of my anniversary. This is the date of this is my birthday. How dare you say 28th of March is the same as 29th? So we make this. And even objects, as I said. If this is something a child gave you, or a parent gave you, or a friend that you haven't seen in a long time, it suddenly becomes sacred. Even if it's just like another pen, or whatever it is, it becomes sacred. And you see that even in religion we have this, right? A great example is Yusuf's shirt for his father, right? When Prophet Yusuf's father hadn't seen him for so long, he cried so much he couldn't see. But once they brought the shirt of Yusuf back to him, it wasn't another shirt. No, it was special. It was Yusuf's shirt. So he hugged it and he suddenly could see again. Now, apart from special objects in religion, one of the important things is that we have special places and special times. And I think this is what we mean by holy or sacred. It means that it's not like any other day, or it's not like any other place. Like holy places, you know better than me. We have Mecca, we have the places we go to, we have so many holy places. Holy times, we have the Eid al-Adha, Eid Fitr, Eid Ghadir, the holy month of Ramadan. Times which are special, which are not like other times. Now you may be asking, okay, I know why that restaurant is special, because something happened between me and my partner. It was the first time we went out together. We had an amazing experience. I was there with my beloved. Or for example, this phone I have from my grandfather, after my grandfather passed away, each of the grandchildren took one of his things to remember him. I took his phone. And I would always go to the contact list because he had saved my number there. And I would always go and look at my name in his contact list and I felt good, right? So that phone, even though it was a very normal phone, it was special to me. Why? because it was my grandfather's. Now, what's so special about these sacred times or places we have in religion? That's my point, the point I will be trying to talk about. So when, for example, we say Ramadan is a special month, is the holy month of Ramadan, why? What's happened? Did your grandfather away and you took his Ramadan? Or what happened? Why is Ramadan so special? The answer is very clear. In the same way that that phone represents and brings to mind my grandfather, in the same way that that restaurant was a place in which you had an interaction with the love of your life, Ramadan is a place in which God was experienced. Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, is a time in which purified, beautiful human beings experience the presence of God in their lives. In the same way that you go to that restaurant and suddenly all the memories come back of the time you were so much in love, in Ramadan, it's as if the walls between us and the divine, the barriers between us and God become so thin. It's like you're going to a place where you met the beloved again. All the months of Ramadan in which you felt the presence of God in your life, all of that comes back. And not just our life, of the prophets and the imams who in this month established a connection with God. So this month represents all of that. It's as if the wall between us and God becomes so thin that you can almost see through it. This is why they say it's so easy to experience God in this month that even your breathing is worship. Even if you sleep, it's worship. Why? Because you are within this special place. Like imagine, this has happened to me a lot. I would go to Iran and my grandparents were in a different city. I only had one day to see them. I would go to their house, but I was so tired. As soon as I arrived, I would say salam and go to sleep. But still, it was fine because I was in their house. I was happy, they were happy. I was happy that I'm not sleeping in any place. I'm sleeping at your place. I came all the way here to be with you. So even when I was sleeping, I felt I'm with them. And they were happy too. So that's why God says in this month, even your sleeping is worship because you came to my month, right? You're my guest. And now the question is this, aren't all months of God? And yes, they are. So why is it that in this particular one, God says, you are my guest? I thought I'm God's guest throughout the year, and that is true. But those who have been in a relationship, they know that even if you love your partner throughout the year, all 365 days of the year, but sometimes you need to make an effort. So for example, you say, you know what, we've been having dinner at home all the time. Next month, let's go out one night. Let's eat together. Someone may say, well, weren't you eating together the whole year? Yes, but we want to make it special. We want to make an effort. Because if you don't make effort, suddenly you lose the appreciation for how significant they are. Didn't we start the discussion by saying death teaches us that people in our life are significant? But if we don't make the effort, we lose the appreciation for how important they are. So that's what even they tell to partners, to parents and children, that yeah, it's great that you love each other, but every now and then make the effort to communicate that, to make the other person feel appreciated. Yes, you've been having dinner the whole year, but now go out, get dressed, make an effort, and remind yourself that you love each other. So even though the whole year we are guests of God, but in this month we're making special effort. And God is also making special effort. Imagine like when you have a birthday party at your house, like all the people were there, especially if it's like a small one just with the family members. All of you were there with your PJs and t-shirts, but as soon as they want to do the photos, what do? Everyone gets dressed for the photos. Why? These are the same people who saw you in your PJs. But now it's special. Let's make something special. Let's make a special memory. That's Ramadan. God's saying, let's make it special in this month. I know you're my guest the whole year, but now I want to show you some special love. And you as well. Make an effort. Let's build this relationship together. Let's remind ourselves of how important God is in our life. So this is what it means that the holy month of Ramadan. It means it's special. Ramadan is a month in which the presence of God was experienced, and we're trying to do that again. And this is why, as I said, they say even your breathing is worship. Even your sleeping is worship. Why? Because when you're a guest in someone's house, as Sheikh Father usually says, when you're a guest at someone's house, what does it mean? It means the guest is not going to mention the mistakes you've made. The host is not going to mention the mistake the guest has made. The host will try to welcome, honor with open arms. The host would make himself available to the guest. Like you don't invite people to your house and, for example, go somewhere else. No, you would be there. You would try and accommodate whatever need they have. And these are all the things that God is giving us in this month. Right? God is our host. So He's going to welcome us. Even if we made mistakes, He's not going to remind us in this month. He's going to welcome us no matter what. He's going to accommodate our needs. It's going to be special connection. Right? And so this is what I think the holy month of Ramadan means. So I really hope that from now on, every time that we hear, because we say it a lot, right? The holy month of Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan. Let's bring all of that in our mind, right? Let's bring the significance of what it means, of this connection we can have with God. And inshallah, make the most out of it. Please recite a salawat. I will make some prayers and then inshallah I'll speak a few minutes about Lady Khadija, because it's unfair not to. This special lady. Let us pray for all the marhumin of anyone present here or even not present from the community, that may Allah inshallah bless them with His mercy and shower them with His mercy and forgiveness in this holy month. Let us pray for all the people who are dealing with any kind of suffering, be it physical or mental or emotional. May Allah give them cure and shafa. And may Allah inshallah help us to make the most out of this 1 month in which we are the guests of God. And may inshallah He remind us to make that effort. Yesterday someone was asking me, why do we have to wake up for suhoor? Because it's really recommended. Even if you're not fasting, wake up for suhoor. Even if you're okay, but wake up, have something, start your day. Start your day with suhoor. So someone was asking me why, what's all the fuss about it? I say because this is what it means. It's trying to tell you, make an effort in this month. I know you can fast maybe even without suhoor, but I want you to get up. Like in the same way that for that birthday photo, you would go and get dressed. Get up and make an effort, right? Get up, be serious about it. Let's make the most out of it, and inshallah, Allah will remind us and help us in doing that. Because at the end of the day, everything is in His hand. Please recite the salawat. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, saw and experienced a lot of tragedies. the loss of his companions. Before that, actually, the loss of his father, the loss of companions, family members, many things. You know better than me. But there was one occasion on which, what did he say? Now my back is broke. I feel like for the Prophet, the moment Lady Khadija passed away was very similar to that moment. The moment the Prophet's back broke. You know, the Prophet lost his father before he was even born, lost mother at the age of 6. The main support he had throughout the mission was Lady Khadija. Day in, day out, through thick and thin. Before anyone believed in the Prophet, she was there. She supported. She sacrificed whatever she had. You know, now we were speaking about making that special connection with God. That's what she did, you know. She never forgot God. She never forgot the significance of prayer. The Prophet gave everything she had. Everything. Life, love, support, money, reputation. And so, and you can see, I don't know if you've read the history of Prophet or not, you can see that there are so many difficult instances in the life of Prophet, right? People harassed him in the street. He went to Ta'if to preach. They threw stones at him. No one would believe in him. He invited his family members. His uncles started getting up and ridiculing him. But in all of those times, in addition to the support of God that the Prophet felt in his heart, he would also go to house, and Lady Khadija was there and gave him the unconditional support. But it's after she passes away that you feel like the Prophet is not the same. He's lost something. He's lost perhaps his main support. And it didn't help that Abu Talib also passed away roughly at the same time. So today I was thinking about Lady Khadija and what her loss meant to the Prophet, and this line just came to my mind. You know, it's just there, it doesn't go, that Al-an inkasara dhahri, now my back broke. And God knows what the Prophet experienced, what Lady Fatima experienced after the death of Lady Khadija. But may Allah help us to be among the followers of the path that she sacrificed all she had to make sure succeeds. Please recite the salawat.